Hi.
I was trying to be serious. Hi, episode 10 of
the
Unnamed podcast.
Of the Unnameable.
There you go, uncategorizable.
The uncategorizable.
We will not be put
the
in
uncancelled. The unnamed. The unlabeled. They get it. The unwanted.
Oh, that was a good one. My eyes were watering. Christian hit me off camera.
Yeah. We have a case of domestic sex abuse. Yeah. No, that's not.
Let's not.
Yeah, start the conspiracy theories that. No.
How was your New Year?
I think it was good.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
Oh my God, my eyes gonna water.
What do you mean, like New Year's Eve?
Yeah, everything. No, your New Year's party? How did you celebrate?
Good. I mean, it was alright.
Did you get drunk?
I don't know if it's just me, but I get more drunk in Christmas parties than in New Year's.
Really? Yeah, I did get pretty drunk on Christmas. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that a thing? Like people just get more drunk on Christmas?
No, I would think New Year's is the party holiday. When I think New Year's, I think party. Like I don't think family.
That's what I thought too, but
yeah, I don't think family.
I don't get drunk on New Year's. Well, because I already drank on Christmas, so it's like.
A lot of people in my family got drunk on Christmas. Like I was on a chair here. I was on a chair and I had a cigarette, and I'm trying to put out the cigarette, so I just like lean over, and the chair fucking leans over with me. And I fall on the floor, drunk, in my dress. So my mom was like, Carlos, take her home now. And I was like, okay, party's up. Once somebody falls, like party's over.
We gotta start wrapping things up. We're wrapping the person up.
Good one. And it was like 10:30, so fucking embarrassing all early. Everybody was drunk at like 9 o'clock. Huh?
You started early?
Yeah, we all started early. It was just me.
It was just you.
Yeah. And then I got drunk on New Year's.
I mean, that's how it's supposed to be, I guess. Getting drunk, isn't that like a tradition, right?
Especially my family. We have alcoholism.
To say that.
You know what's funny?
To say goodbye to the New Year? I mean,
what was Christmas?
You gotta be drunk, right?
You gotta be drunk.
For Christmas. To say goodbye to Christmas, too. You gotta be drunk.
Yeah. No, but I was talking to my cousin. He's like, he doesn't drink at all. Like, not even, because his dad's. So I go up to him. I'm fucking drunk on Christmas, like an asshole. I go up to him.
You just convinced him more not to drink.
Yeah, and I'm like, isn't it terrible that we all drink so much? Because isn't there like a lot of alcoholism in the family? He's like, who are you? That's so bad.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
if you're seeing this, shout out.
Shout out to all the alcoholics. No. Seriously.
No, yeah.
Seriously.
Get help. Actually, Caroline, there's an intervention.
Your mom is actually outside.
You step in.
They have letters for you.
And then we clickbait it like, she gets an intervention.
Oh, man.
People do that. YouTubers do that. Like, they
are crazy.
Take advantage of like tragedies to.
We do, but we laugh. Like I feel like again we find humor in everything.
I just saw this today in Twitter, and it was I think it's the Ace family. Have you heard of them?
I fucking hate family YouTube channels. First of all, because it's weird. You know, I get it. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, because you're like basically setting off your family,
and not just that.
Every time, like, it's just.
And obviously those are targeted at children, which is cool. You can have great educational ideas, but at the end of the day, you're shitting on the networks that put time and energy into, these regulations. What's the TV regulator, people? People who regulate TV. Oh my God.
Illuminati?
Yeah, the Illuminati. No, oh my God. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is that, like, whatever you bring to children, you gotta really be careful what you bring to them. Of course, yeah. And I feel like YouTube families, like, they have these great ideas, but you gotta really think about what you're putting out there.
Well, I'm not really familiar with the YouTube family genre, but I'm telling you, there's this one that went on my radar, is the Ace family on Twitter. It got on my radar. Well, it has been on my radar because they have been doing a bunch of crazy shit first they got so much money from the family shows that they were doing, and then I remember there was always speculation that like, oh, it's all fake. Like they're just when they turn off the camera, they're probably telling like the kids like, hey, do this, like, or the wife like, don't. And I think there was one video where
where her little sister, he was kind of mean to her.
Or they were like, y'all need to laugh harder or something like that. And then now they lost their house for some reason. So there's a new video that came out, and then people are saying, oh wow, he really needs money because that. So the video, I haven't seen it, but the headline is, our kid fell, serious fall. And then they show the picture with the baby with the blood and the baby falling. And it's like, what? Like, how is this an episode? Yeah, like, go get your baby out of the hospital.
And beyond that, because I know it's California, it's a big flashy life, but especially with YouTubers, I feel like it's not the most stable job.
No.
And they go out and buy these McMansions.
Well, I think that's what happened. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, again, I don't have that kind of money. Maybe they have accountants. Maybe they are being responsible.
I remember what happened now. It's that guy, the Ace family. I think it is and I don't know his name, but the father, whatever, he was ripping people off. Like he was telling them to invest somewhere.
To invest in his school. Or
something. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow, what the hell? Are we those people now?
So if you want to send us, but have we got an opportunity for you? No, that's weird. But I do like to watch those commentary YouTubers because I learned a lot of the stuff from them.
What do you mean?
I don't know their names.
Family?
We should put their.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, when we edit out there. There's two specifically that I watch. The guy and a girl, but I don't know their names, so I'll put it right now.
Trisha Paytas?
Ew.
No.
I kind of look like her today.
Nah, you don't.
I got my pink sweater.
Trisha Wishes.
Oh, thank you. There's no hair here.
It's lovely.
Nah, but let's move forward. Let's move on.
So
movies.
The new movie? Well, it's not.
What's not new anymore?
It's about Christmas Day.
We're a little late.
Is it considered a Christmas movie if it comes out on Christmas?
I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so.
No? Because I don't know. Because they were like, there's that debate about Die Hard. But but Die Hard actually has Christmas stuff in it, or what?
And Joy came out around Christmas.
So what makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie? Like, there has to be some Christmas symbolism there?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I finished my catch.
You won.
No, it's okay. No, but don't look up. We're a little late on it, but I like this movie a lot. Let's talk about it anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
late.
Yeah. It's
so last year.
It's
Don't look up.
I mean,
who's the director?
Andy
Samberg.
I don't know.
You imagine?
I'm sure it'll come up somewhere.
Oh, we'll look at it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, a movie about division, and it's created that same thing it's talking about, and even more division. Like, have you seen the Rotten Tomatoes scores? Like, one side, the people love it. The other side, the critics are hating it.
I mostly side with the audience score. More than anything, I side with the audience score. Because I get it, professionals, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's like, do people like it or not? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the masses.
I liked it.
I mean, I liked it too.
But what's your butt? You brought your butt first.
Well, no, I mean, for me, honestly, I think this movie is brilliant. But I think it's become even more brilliant, not intentionally. It's just the right time, the right everything's brewing in the right direction for this movie to become a cult classic. Like, I
was just gonna say, do you think that, because I think a lot of cult films never intentionally do brilliant things.
Yeah.
But it always just turns out that way and it becomes...
I think the director did, like, intent, like, I mean, his intent was to criticize, like, the society, right? But I think now that it's, like, being picked up and a lot of people are talking about it and the critics are divided and, I think it's here to stay. I don't know. It's something really more brilliant than he thought there was going to be. I
really, really liked it. I think, just like you, it's on the road to be cult classic class. But I don't think it's, like, Oscar-worthy. Because I don't think all cult films have to be Oscar worthy. And I think it touches on serious subjects, but it's so comical that I just don't see it as this like super serious, like award freaking decorated movie. But I think it's a great movie.
Well, I mean, worst movies have been given the Oscar. Nomadland, like I'm always talking shit about
Nomadland. Fucking hate Nomadland, dude.
So I mean, if this movie won the Oscar, I would
it's a good. No, yeah.
I don't know, not really.
But
the Oscar, we talked about how the Oscar just diminished its value now. Like it's.
I was gonna go there. Oscars, it's like. I don't know.
We have to start a new thing.
We need a new award, please. The streaming.
Our own award show. The one we had last episode.
Yeah, we need one of those. We need to put that shit together.
The monkey, where's it?
Oh, it's at my mom's house. The monkey? Was it no?
It's framed. Oh, okay.
The monkey.
Well, it's getting mixed reviews because you know what the critics are going after it for?
What?
They say that it's too snobby. That it's too condescending towards everybody. And,
but that's the whole point. The whole point is for us to criticize society. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I think I was reading some reviews. I read like 3 of them, and the majority of them, what they had in common was that it was snobby, and that the one question with this because these critics, professional critics, that
I love them snobbery, and also critics are snobs. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Go ahead. Yeah.
They're educated and everything, so they're take.
Huh? Are we snobs?
Probably.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
No. So the whole those 3 reviews that I saw, their questions were like, well, not everybody's like that. Like, along the lines where like, I'm not like that. So why are you screaming at me and telling me,
like that.
And why are you screaming at me and telling me that I know the world's going to end and I wouldn't, like, they're basically saying that we're not stupid, like at least them, So.
But I do feel like everybody is like that.
That's what I'm saying.
And even the people who are not like self-centered, narcissistic, like, taking pictures, selfies, Instagram, socials, all the stuff that they were criticizing in there, even those people are annoying.
Yeah,
I fucking hate everybody.
These critics, their question is, well, this movie acts like it's a world where no real journalists exist, and there's the only logical people is Jennifer Lawrence, and I mean, it's a movie. It's not supposed to be like. In this world, this movie was supposed to communicate what would have happened if there's a world where there isn't any logical journalists and there isn't any logical people, and everybody's just divided. It's not supposed to be ultimately realistic. So that's their take on it, hey, where's all the good people here in the movie? Where's all the people who...
Yeah, there was not one good person in that movie.
Yeah, so that's their take.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. There was not one character I liked.
And they feel offended because they consider themselves somebody who won't be on their phone. If the meter's coming, those critics consider themselves, well, I would pay attention to the meter. Like, I would go up, I wouldn't act like that. That's what they're saying. But it's like that phrase in Spanish, si te cayó el saco, póntelo, if the shoe fits. So I feel like the reason that they're offended means that they might be those people that they're...
One thing about the movie that didn't sit right with me, and we talked about this on the phone, like, right after I watched it, was the casting. Because Leonardo Dicaprio, in a movie like this, he's been in such serious, big movies that in a movie like this, he wasn't convincing to me. He's Leonardo DiCaprio in glasses in this movie. He's not Dr. Mindy.
Yeah.
That's Leo pretending to be a scientist. Like, that's how I saw it. And then Jonah Hill, I love Jonah Hill. I don't like him in this movie because
he always plays those characters that are not likable, right?
Well, not even just that, but I think like putting Jonah Hill in here took away from the satire. It made it less smart.
Oh, it made it more like a
little bit more on the nose, a little bit more
those jokes that are like Family Guy jokes kind of thing.
Yeah, he took away from. I feel like he took away from it.
You know what? I found.
I love Jonah Hill.
Like throughout the movie, the first jokes against Jennifer Lawrence were okay, but then throughout the movie, like his whole character just bashes on her, and I'm like, okay, we get it. Like you're a dick.
You're funny. You're Jonah Hill. You're a dick.
But it's kind of implying that that's funny, like treating a woman like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it too much.
No. dynamic was hilarious, but again, I do feel like he killed that joke. He kept killing it. Yeah, but I did like that dynamic.
That's why it's brilliant, because it has us talking about, like, well, maybe that's why the director did it, so it can show how these people are assholes, or, you know, like... I
like the running joke about the military guy.
Why did he charge $10?
That was funny.
That
was funny. I like that one.
And you know what? Like, the reviews, the critics, they're like, oh, I'll give them that one. That was a really good joke or something.
That was good. Oh, but we talked about this also yesterday. I feel, I don't know if you feel, I don't speak for you, that Leonardo Dicaprio is a real life Dr. Mindy, except he's not a scientist, he's an actor.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're just using him at this point to, like, what is it? Commercialize science. Environmentalism and science. You know what
they just named a tree after him.
What was it called? Something?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, it was like Virtuoso DiCaprio or something like that.
I don't know, but...
Virtuoso, no, it's not that. It has a V in it.
But they named it as thank you for protecting the environment?
You know what? Did you read the thing?
No,
it was like, because he posted about it on his social media to his millions of followers, that the campaign gained momentum and won because he posted it.
So yeah.
And it's like, wow, like...
It's like
I don't know.
In the movie.
Like in the movie.
Yeah, we have a scientist
the hot scientist
wanting to be a media person, and then in reality we have this actor, this media person wanting to be a scientist.
Man,
and that's Leonardo DiCaprio.
And he's still hanging out in his mega yacht. I hope y'all know that. Like, I mean, I don't mean to point fingers like, oh, it's this, but it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me.
This is why this movie is brilliant, because it just shows it's mirroring our time. Like, the fact that we need an actor to commercialize environmentalism just shows how we are those people that we need a handsome face.
We only listen to the handsome face. There you go.
That's why they're listening to us.
Shut up. And then I think that's also why
I gotta walk out.
Why I guess I don't mean to shit on Leo, but I just have this mistrust for like the rich and famous. Anytime they do anything good, there's always a secret. Yeah, the cynic in me is like, why? Like, why are you doing this?
There must be something.
There must be something. Yeah, so maybe it's just my mistrust in people. I don't know.
Well, no, that's that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
There's hardly any people who do something nice just for being nice.
And I'm a shitty person.
Oh, me too. Well, I don't know.
I'm a shitty person.
Well, I feel like others should judge that, no? You are a shitty person.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to put a big old F you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, right, you're the person. Stop.
No, well, you know what? Let's not get it. No, I'm not. I'm a shitty person.
Make your kids
Okay, this is why you shouldn't watch us. All right, let's move forward because today is January 7th. Today's the 7th or 8th?
Yeah, it's 7th. 7th?
Okay. Ooh, okay, my credit cards.
January 6th was
yesterday.
How did y'all celebrate your commemoration of January 6th? I feel like that became now a holiday or something. Like, what? What's happening? They had a whole ceremony in was it Congress?
Did they?
Well, a candle vigil or whatever for the cops that died.
Yeah, I think they killed one police, right?
Yeah, or 4.
4?
I think 4 died.
I didn't know. I thought it was just one policeman. Like they beat him to death.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a peaceful protest, right? They said.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was. I don't. If a person died, they kept trying to cloak it as well. It was just beat practice. Like, bitch, someone died. Like what?
And then the woman that they fatally shot because she was about to break in, and actually nobody knows what she was really going to do. I mean, all these people. What was their game plan? Like, I think at one point we were talking about it, and you asked like, what they want to do. The FBI is still trying to figure out what they were trying to do. Because
a lot of it was a bunch of pictures.
In the video,
a lot of people just wanted to. Well, not the seriously like crazy people. I'm sure that they had other plans, but I think a large majority, again, just wanted to take pictures of like look at me, I got my boot on AOC's desk.
Well, I mean,
I'm saying that's part of it. I think that's not all of it. Yeah, there's some more sinister things, but I think another part of it was just trying to show off that I can do this because. I'm white or because because I'm white, honestly,
well,
like at this point.
Well, how the famous shaman, he said, like, this is, we're just showing that we could come here and take it, we can do whatever we want. And that's what they were going to show. That's on the one side, but then there are other people who did, there was a news present and they were shouting Mike Pence. They wanted to get Mike Pence. And another group of people were shouting AOC, like they wanted to AOC's head. And it was an act of terrorism, and that's still being debated. Like there's still people who are defending this insurrection.
You know what's funny is you told me about one of the defenses of, I forgot who, but maybe it was a congressman, maybe it was whatever, but it was like comparing it to Black Lives Matter's movement, saying, oh, well, Black Lives Matter destroyed all these buildings. How come we can't, or how different is this from that? Oh, but let me tell you. Okay. I was like, no, but think about it. Okay. So the people who are using this defense to them, because I have my opinions about all of that. I don't think that's Black Lives Matter, but okay. But, to the people who use that defense, Black Lives Matter destroying property, bad, right? Because that's what they they consider.
That's what they say, yeah.
So then why are you saying, so I can do the bad thing? So it's like, that doesn't make sense if you're saying, oh, they did it, so I can do it. Like, no, then don't do it. If in your eyes it's a bad thing, then why are you defending a bad thing?
That's basically what their argument is. They're saying, well, the Black Lives Matter movement, they destroyed so many businesses and stuff like that, and we just stormed the Capitol.
That's the general public.
Yeah.
But anyways,
so
angry citizens. I have my opinion about that.
Let's compare two things. Like, they want you to, and just the fact that we're comparing them to me is so saddening, because that's what they want us to do. They want us to create further divide, and by the fact that we're comparing the Black Lives Matter movement to this horrible stupidity, we're already giving less value and invalidating Black Lives Matter movement. But if we're gonna do that, let's have Black Lives Matter movement, which started from the killing of George. Well, it didn't start, but it developed
gained more momentum. I think it gained more momentum after Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
That's when it really
started
gained
with Black people actually dying at the hands of
it has an actual focus.
People actually dying. And a lot of, it's not only Black people were there. Everybody was there who was against people being killed unjustly by cops, and also those specifically minorities, right?
and those riots. How can you just that's the general angry public? How can you just put that on one organization?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, those are just people who are very upset. They're very angry, and I always think about this all the time, because I see it on the internet, where it's like, why do you care more about property than you do these people? Like, these are angry ass people.
Yeah, we have this movement, which, again, it started with injustice of police brutality, but let's not act like that movement didn't also was created because there's been hundreds of years of oppression for Black people. Like, this is not, and then you're comparing that, which has a bunch of history dating even back before police, to this insurrection that it was just because some white people were mad about the election results. Like, you're comparing that, like, and then you're storming the Capitol. That's a federal building. And you wanted to kill an actual congressman. Like,
that's so different.
Like, how are you
that is
comparing?
So different.
And that's why I hate that we have the very fact that we have to compare these two things. Is just that's what they want us to do, so we could give less power.
You know what? You're right. They want us to do that.
Yeah. To give less power to the injustices that were being protested in the first place with the BLM. So yeah, that's how we are, and then you're gonna see this maybe 10 years from now. Still, people are gonna be debating whether it was a just cause or an unjust cause.
Oh my god!
And one of those most vocal people who are like preaching that it wasn't an act of terrorism is Candace Owens. Have you heard of Candace Owens? No.
That ashy bitch. Yeah, I know her.
Well, she's I always found her so interesting because she's very smart. She's very well
Yeah, I hate when people that I don't like are very good at arguing their point. Ben Shapiro is amazing at arguing his point, but I fucking hate
expert. I mean, not expert. Well, yeah. I mean, I just what I find even more interesting is that Candace Owens, like she started out like completely against what she's preaching. Like
oh,
she
really?
was
I didn't know that
yeah, she was for social movements, for minority justices. She even she had a show where she just criticized Trump, like she was against Trump and against Republicans and conservatives. But then something happened where she just did a complete 360, and then she joined the Turning Point, which is this organization that for young conservatives, and then they put her even more on a pedestal because hey, we have a black woman that's preaching the same thing we're preaching, just in the wake of this Turning Point organization being called out because it didn't have any diversity. So they're like, oh, we need somebody who's conservative and black, and so they bring her in, and she becomes a rapid success because that's exactly who they needed. And then, now they use her as, hey, we're not racist because we have this black person speaking the same thing we're speaking.
Yeah.
But it's just so crazy that, yeah, like she started off with this completely different view, and there's one point in her career where she says, and she keeps on saying it, that she doesn't believe that there's systemic racism. She doesn't believe there's even racism in the U.S. And she says it with her whole chest, and I find that like very also interesting because one thing that she will never mention, and I don't think she's mentioned it in any show or at all, is that when she was young, when she was in high school, she was a victim of actual racist threats, and some students sent her text messages that they were going to lynch her and that they were going to tar her up, to the point that she sued the high school and she won a settlement for $37,000 on the basis that she was being discriminated and being racially profiled. So then how do you have that person do a complete 360 and come here and tell millions of people that racism doesn't exist, that there is no such thing as systemic racism, and she even says it so confidently. She says, tell me a time, show me something that shows systemic racism. She's like that. And
that's the thing about racism.
How could she forget, you know?
That's another, show me. There's no tangible thing that, it's that shows, oh, this was racist. This was outright. Well, there is outright racism, but I feel like a lot of it is microaggressions. You can't just look at this microaggression. It's a lot of little shit.
Some things are not even seen.
Up. There you go. There are things that are not even seen, man. And I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people, especially conservatives, they don't think about the stuff between the lines. They're all about, show me black and white, evidence. Show me they don't know. I feel like a lot of conservatives don't consider the gray area.
There was a long time ago, there was a tweet, I think it was Pete Buttigieg, who was saying, we're going to tackle racism of the transportation. And a lot of white people were like, what? There's racism in transportation? And they were like, did you just forget about Rosa Parks? Did you just forget about how most of the highways in black neighborhoods and brown neighborhoods are littered with those holes, and then we go to a white neighborhood and all those pristine, and then, so how could you sit here like it doesn't click, it just they're like, they just don't wander.
That's here in Houston.
outside of their own bubbles, and so that's why there's racism in transportation. Those are the things that what we said. Well, sometimes it's in between the lines. But no, back to Candace Owens. Like, what makes a person
do that?
Like, she knows she's wrong.
I can. You know what? No, I can understand. She's very smart,
she's stupid.
And I can understand not wanting to, because I feel like this is an issue with not just black people, but pretty much all people of color. You don't want to be boxed in as
the
no. You don't want to be boxed in as you're a person of color. You have to be liberal. You have to be, Democratic. So I understand. Maybe you have conservative views you want to express, but I feel like that's extreme.
Okay, I can see that.
That's extreme. Like
Candace
there was this thing that she was saying. I seen a video of her. She made a speech where, oh my God, where was it? She was describing immigration as she literally.
That's a myth.
No, she was describing immigration as an invasion. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, it's just people trying to come to this country, for a better life. Like, why are you calling it an invasion? Like, oh, we have to. She thought that she was saying something, but she was just outright saying, like, we need, this was, yes, now I remember. She was like, okay, hold on. She started with the Black family. Yeah. She was saying something about how the Black family needs to stay together and be strong because we have, she literally correlated immigration to the Black family. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, why are you trying to pit?
Make it reach. She does it. She does reaches.
And it's like...
She makes reach.
That makes no sense. And what, the way that she expressed herself, it almost sounded smart. But then I'm like, dude, do you know what you're saying? Like, you're just trying to pit these two
against each other?
Minorities against each other, when really we should be uniting. Like, I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's saying now things to... Like, that she doesn't really believe. She's just saying them to get that, I guess.
So you don't think she believes in what she preaches?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm telling you, she was a victim of racism. To the point where
you think she's being paid?
She was scared for her life, where she had to reach for the police, her parents, her family. Mm-hmm. She got paid $37,000, and I think she made that. Well, look, I was going to say that it all started. Her 360 movement was when she was unsatisfied with the Democratic Party. And that's understandable because the Democratic Party is also...
They're also super shady.
Yeah, there's also... There's even racists in the Democratic Party. Like,
absolutely.
Let's not act like they're perfect. And But... So that's how she... With her hate towards the Democratic Party, that's how she got adopted into the Republican. And I think along her way, I guess, we have a classic case of somebody just losing their soul to whatever...
Selling out.
Yeah.
She's probably getting paid a ton of money.
A lot. I mean, she has her own show. Yeah. So I feel like at this point, she has either to stick with it or... But I hope she doesn't stick with it. I hope she really just becomes an independent and she really just starts saying what she really believes. Because obviously you don't believe that racism is a myth. You don't believe that there's no such thing as systemic racism. Like, come on. Like,
and honestly, I feel like that a lot of people who say that are people who have made it, you know? They're like, well, I did it, so anybody can do it. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. I hate that attitude. But anyways.
One of her recent reaches that she said on Twitter was that, the FBI the FBI was the culprit of the insurrection, and I don't know, somehow the FBI was behind the whole thing.
It's the FBI.
That she's accusing the FBI of leaving those bombs in those pipe bombs that they found. She thinks that the FBI...
She's wild.
That's crazy, right?
Anyways.
But, I hope, not only with her, but anybody who's just, tired of both parties, it's because it's these two parties, they're all giving information, and they're all giving us ideas. They're all telling us...
But through what they say, they're showing themselves.
Yeah, like it's...
You know, the kind of person that they are.
So I feel we should...
Someone's calling me.
Like, you broke your day. I feel not only her, but all of us step outside these two streams of constant information. Step outside and really think about what's right. You know, what's hurting people. Step outside these streams. Because both of these streams are tainted. Both of these streams are, unfortunately... contaminated.
They have coronavirus.
They have coronavirus.
No, I know, and and the thought of this being, sometimes I even feel. I think I've said this in another video. Sometimes I even feel like kind of shitty being like such a centrist because it's like, because we're torn between these two sides that it's like, even right in the middle, you kind of feel like a fucking asshole, right? Like.
Oh, because you're not
You're not committing, but it's like, well, why do I have to commit? But I don't know, it's weird. I don't know, all this stuff is just...
Well, that's what happened. I'm telling to... I don't know why I think she's Candace. That's why... that's what happened to Candace Owens. She was unsatisfied, mad at the Democratic Party. So instead of, like how you said, like just...
Because the libertarians and independents are never winners, right?
I don't know, but she thought that, well, she's not just going to be alone. She has to belong somewhere. So she goes to the Republican Party. But she should have...
You know what? I'm joining the Green piece. I'm joining the Green Party.
That's even also tainted. Everything.
Everything is tainted. Everything.
So she went to the Republican Party, but I feel like she could have just made it out on her own. She didn't need to sell out and preach something that's actually detrimental, because people are using her very words to create harm and violence.
Are there any, like, interesting, like, independents?
Well, Bernie Sanders used to be an independent. Well, he's considered, even among the Democratic Party, as an independent. But he's, like, technically a Democrat.
Bernie Sanders, to me, feels very, very, very liberal.
Oh, well, that's why, yeah. But he's in the Democratic Party.
He's so liberal, he's free from the left. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so, let's move forward.
All of our stuff.
That's gross.
Just do it.
No, we can talk about my birthdays.
Oh, weren't you about
26? Yeah, I'm gonna be 26.
Then write that down.
Happy birthday to me.
Oh, happy birthday.
It's not for another
30 years.
23 days, but who's counting?
How old are you gonna be?
26.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
No, so do you think 26 is old? Not old, but I have my thing about 25 and above, 26 and up. Because we're still young. I feel like you're not old until maybe like 50. Then you're old. But
excuse me. What's up? Are you joining this? Show?
You're youthful. But
that was the majority of our audience. You just canceled our main audience. But...
Oh, we gotta find a new demographic.
No. I know.
So yeah, you're young. You're young pretty much up until like you're 50, but even then, that's debatable. But I'm just really honing down on it now. Really.
Oh my god.
But
we love 50-year-olds.
Yeah, but I feel like your youth, your wild youth, your craziness is over at 26 and up.
26 and up.
Yeah, because 25 and down is like, fuck yeah, it's your prime. But then like 26 and up, I feel like from 26 to about 35.
I don't believe in primes.
You should be.
I feel like prime, well, that's what I want to believe. I feel prime is any age you're in. Like,
well, I don't want to confuse prime with your wild youth. Let me not confuse those.
Oh.
Because you're right. Prime is a very, but I feel like the time to be a fuck up, the time to make mistakes, the time to still
to fuck things up,
growing, to still be growing. That's 25 and under. But once you're 26, I feel like that's when you should start really planting who you're gonna be. You don't have to settle down, you don't have to get married, you don't have to have kids or none of that. But as far as knowing who you are, I feel like 26 and above, that's where you gotta start figuring that out.
I think once you're 25 and above, I would say, is you have to already start to eliminate all those things that didn't work for you in your childhood and your younger years, and start looking forward with staying with what is working for you. But
there's still room for mistakes and stuff, but
there are many times where, unfortunately, people reach 25, 26, 27, and so on and so forth, and they never really
mature.
Well, matured, but the process of maturing is that very thing, like letting go of those bad habits, bad decision makings, and now maybe even thinking twice and 3 times before you make a decision, as opposed to when we're 21 or 19, 18, 16, where we just jump for it.
You know what? Like at 26, if you want to be single That's perfectly fine.
Excuse me?
You know, you want to have casual sex, that's perfectly fine. But I feel like at 26, that's at the point where you need to start being honest about it. You know? So it's like, yeah, you can still do wild things, but just be a real grown-up about it. Like,
what are you trying to get from it? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you meet somebody and you only want sex, tell that person, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious, and I'm and none of that like lying, like, oh, I'm not looking for it, but you know, you really are.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with people outside of you, and
yeah. There's no time to waste because I think, well, for me, I'm 25, and the older I'm getting, even though, like you said, we're still young, but the older I'm getting is like, wow, like nobody guarantees me that I'll live. I mean, I'm still young, but I think the majority of young people are like, well, in my 30s, I'll start. But who's guaranteeing you that you're gonna make it for 30? Like, that's why I'm acting like if maybe next month is the day that's my last month or something. So let me try to actually, like you said, be honest with people. Actually start making the best decisions.
Now
there's no more excuses to wait for like, well, I'm still young. Let me try to make it. Like, no, like maybe these are your last years. You never know.
And lately, I've been doing that with the things that I've been wanting to do. Like, even though I'm not like a big time, and you know me, I've never been published or anything, but I feel like instead of just saying, oh, I'm going to put more time into my writing, like I'm actually trying to force myself to sit down and the computer and, you know, do something, you know, actually do the thing. And it's, I don't know.
Wow, well, yeah, maybe because we talked about how
like there's no time, just do it.
In the male brain, I think, is that a myth or anything? That supposedly once you reach 25 on the male brain, it's like the highest you can develop. Like that's.
Well, maybe that was the study.
Is that for women too? I don't know.
Well, it depends on the study because I mean sometimes they just use the male brain as a variable.
Oh, and then
maybe they don't even include, you know.
I don't know, but supposedly
it's just the way the study is set up. So maybe they just didn't include the female brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they said at 25 that's like the in terms of brain development, 25 is the utmost brain development that you can get. That doesn't mean that you're never.
For a man.
That doesn't mean that you're never gonna learn anything new.
Yeah.
But it means that in brain development, that's it, you know. So what I was talking about with you is that when I date guys, now that I'm when I used to be 21, so believe it or not, I used to be young. So back then I didn't really look at it too much. When I met a guy and like, oh, they didn't have their shit together, I was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, we're 20. We're 22.
He'll reach his full potential later, or I'll reach my full potential later. But now that I'm 25, I'm like, hey, like anything.
It's a red flag.
All those red flags that I would have ignored when I was 18, like now it's like, oh, well, something's going on because we're already 25, 26. And
you're still like
we already should have at least been trying to get our stuff together. You know,
at least be honest. At least do this. That goes no playing games. I
want to hold myself up with that same lens and catch myself if I have a red flag. Like, hey, like what the hell, you're like, this was okay back then, but now you have to start.
You know what's
eliminating those bad habits.
And you know what's crazy? I thought it was just because we were married, but 20.
We were married?
No, not us. Me and Carlos. When we were married at 23. Well, when I was 23, he was. We married young, and I've noticed. Now we're older. I'm 26 now. He's 25, and yeah. Wait, is he 25? Yeah, he's 25, and I've noticed like. Even when you're married and you think, oh, like we've got our shit together, like no. In the past few years, I mean, we've both grown up a lot.
Oh yeah,
and I noticed it very much, especially these days, because now we're able to communicate like way better than we did when we were like just a few years ago.
Yeah,
and I was talking about this with why is this wet?
Oh, just
are those your hands?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's it called? I was talking about this where it's like I had a job and there was this guy there. He was like 22. I don't know how old he was. So, and I was like, oh wow, like you're so young. And he's like, bitch, you're 25? Like we're not even that different. Yeah. But in your 20s, I promise you, 2 years, 3 years, in your 20s, is such a big difference
Yeah,
because I feel like between 18 and 25, the most shit that can happen to you is gonna happen in those years. So yeah, I guess that's why I felt so old working there because I was 25. Everybody else there was either, I promise they were between the ages of like 18 and nobody was older than 23 there. And it's just, it's a huge difference. It doesn't seem like much, 2-3 years, but
do you think it's because of that brain development thing, that 25, 26 is...
Yeah, it's like the last...
Something happens, like something clicks, I don't know.
It's like the last of it.
I mean, I don't want to talk shit about 21-year-olds, but...
No.
Like, now...
I'm so jealous of them.
21-year-olds, like, honestly, they seem to me what, like, 18-year-olds used to... You know, like, for me, they're the new 18-year-old. Like, they seem too young for me, you know, like 21.
Well, yeah, and they should seem too young. You don't want to be those people who...
No, but it's like you said, like 22 and we're 25, like there's not that much of an age difference.
But it is.
But it is. That's why we see them as way younger when they're not really way younger.
I think that age difference when you're older, like in like your 30s, it's not that big of a deal. Because I feel like once you hit 30 and above, y'all are all basically the same fucking age. Because...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, again, that development stuff. But we're not doctors. So, hold on, we're not doctors.
We're not medical experts.
We're not medical experts. You have a psychology degree?
Yeah, but
it's not. Yeah. Anyways, but those are just our theories about age. Or
theories.
My theory about
or Candace Owens.
Oh my god.
I'm doing the same thing she's doing.
No, but I really do believe all that stuff. I do. I don't know. I'm looking forward though. Like, even though my crazy youth is over,
mature youth is now.
My mature youth is blossom. I like that. Wow. My mature youth. And honestly, I'm looking really forward to between 26 and like 35. These next 10 years. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Well, like you said, we're not going to plan the next 10 years. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I didn't want to like be dark, but we shouldn't.
But you can't guarantee it. No.
Yeah, like that's why we shouldn't be acting like, oh, we have like 10 years of time. Like do it now.
But I'm excited for it. No, yeah, do it now. Yes, but I'm excited.
Like now.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because what is it? Especially because, like, personally, again, I don't have kids, so I feel like at this age. You have time. All of us. No, I'm
mom audience.
I'm not kidding. Every audience.
We lost like 10 young.
We lost already 20 subscribers.
We lost our mom. We lost our 50-year-old. Who's left? 5-year-olds.
Your sister. Yeah. No, but honestly, I have the time, I have the freedom, I have... Stop! When you're older, you make more money.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. What about you?
No, I think I have the same optimism going into... Because I'm also going to be 26 on April... I don't want to say the day. Well, I mean, April 4th, whatever. So, we're both going to be 26, and I think I share the same optimism as you. That, yeah, like, there's this new... maturity, that I didn't have, but I feel like I could have attained it a long time ago, but I just never really stepped into that door until now.
Same.
And something I'm telling you, something just clicks where you're like, you know what? Let me stop that shit and let me just step into this door of maturity.
It really does just happen.
You want to take some shots?
Yeah. What time is it? How long have we had? 48 minutes.
No. Early party celebration? No.
So, I'm going to try my best this year to not drink. So.
Oh.
And he's really bummed out about it. Like, I have an issue, okay? No, kidding.
No, well, you said, like, completely, like...
Yeah, completely.
Stop. But, I mean,
maybe special occasion, like, get fucking hammered.
Yeah. That's what I was going for. Like,
yeah.
I mean, don't completely, like... Well, I mean, I guess you should do whatever. I mean, people should do whatever works for them, but I just can't see myself leaving alcohol forever. Like,
no, I'm not gonna leave it forever.
Whoa.
Just as long as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So forever.
Yeah. Anyways.
No, just kidding. So shots?
No. Oh, dude, did you, we found a beautiful thing on Tuesday?
Oh,
Wednesday.
The library?
I'd never seen anything like that.
What's the name of that library?
It is the Houston Metropolitan Research Center, and then under it said Houston Public Library 2010. It was gorgeous. I had never seen any. I didn't even know buildings like that, because I feel like Houston has gotten rid of everything old. And it's nothing but like new corporate. It's very corporate here, especially downtown. I feel like it's very corporate.
That's what I noticed about Houston. And all you see cities in Europe and all these, and even Mexico, like it's like they welcome you to stay and sit down and take some coffee or a drink or something. But Houston downtown is like, hey, you're here to work or get the fuck out. You know, like
honestly,
there's no tables outside where you could chill unless there's like an actual business. But
yeah,
it really doesn't welcome you to stay downtown.
Yeah, even as local Houstonians, when we go downtown, we kind of feel like we're just being bums.
I find that kind of sad that they're so against what's it called?
Anti-homeless.
Anti-homeless and anti.
They have a lot of anti-homeless.
What's it called? Loitering
structures. Yeah.
Loitering, where you.
No, they also have a lot of anti-homeless architecture.
So that's in their movement to be so anti-homeless, they lost just people relaxing in downtown. Like you can't even relax anymore because everything's designed for you not to spend too much time there. Because it's aimed for homeless people to not spend much time there. Mm-hmm. And in that process, they lost us spending time. Well, it's not like we're different than homeless people. I mean, we're all human beings, and I guess you just lost all of us. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. But they also, on top of that, because I used to cherish. I grew up at I didn't grow up in the Heights, but my tia used to babysit me. So she lived in the Heights, and I grew up there before they gentrified, before it was redone and everything. And I always admired that neighborhood. I always loved it so much. It looked like something out of a movie. It was so old. It was cool. It had bungalows, 1920s bungalows. Like that's all it was. What was it? It's like a certain kind of house. It's like, like a house imagine a house with a porch. Like a craftsman.
The bungalow, or what was it?
That's a banjo.
Oh, banjo.
But, it's like old craftsman's house, you know? But there was a lot of that. And I remember growing up thinking, oh, wow, like I want to live here. And then by the time I became a grown up, like there was nothing but like townhouses and like really it was very much redone. It was very gentrified by the time I was an adult. Like now I'm probably able to like look around here and, start buying. And I mean, I don't want to fucking live here no more.
Where here?
Not here, in the Heights.
Oh, the Heights.
In the Heights. So, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like... I feel like that's all of Houston, though. Like, all of Houston gets rid of... I don't know. What is it about people thinking, oh my God... Well, no, not that, but it's like people thinking, oh my God, like, I have this idea. Think about this old house, but make it new. You know what I mean?
It's like capitalism, It's just everybody wants to make a business out of everything.
Yeah, and it's...
In doing so,
it's so ugly.
The culture of any place is being lost. And what's happening to the U.S. is that every city is now looking the same. Like all the architectural designs are meant to create money. So what's happening is every city is looking the same because there's no more art to it. It's just
the same. Money, then I remember because there were two gorgeous houses in front of my uncle's house. Big house, not big houses. Their lots were pretty big. They were beautiful houses, craftsman houses, and they were perfectly fine. They weren't even old. They were too well taken care of. They were refurbished. They looked great, and the original families lived there. And then they sold it, tore down the house completely. One of them, they made townhouses. So in one lot for one house, they put like 3 townhouses, like fucking close together. The other one is just a parking lot. Like they made it into a parking lot.
That's a problem too.
It was a gorgeous house, and they made it into a parking lot. I was like,
so many spaces are being wasted just to make parking lots that are not even used entirely.
Yeah, honestly,
I think in 10 years, no, not even 10 years. I think now it's already
5 years.
All these, like every city you go to in the U.S. has a Walmart, gasoline stations, McDonald's. They all look the same, and maybe I don't know. Maybe in our near future there won't be any like uniqueness anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I think only 19th Street here in the Heights. In the Heights, that's like the only place where they still have just a little bit of mom and pop stores. But even then, like we've been to them. They're fucking expensive.
Yeah. What can we do to that? I guess we could.
Well, you know what? No. Let me not, because if you think about it, that's what sustainability has a cost.
Yeah.
You know, like fast fashion is cheap. It's cheap for a reason. Whatever you do buy sustainable clothes, what's the main criticism? Is that it's expensive. But yeah, because they're paying their workers actual wages. The materials, I don't know about the materials. I don't know what their quality is, but you know what I mean? So I think that's why mom and pop stores are so expensive. Like, yeah.
Well, it's quality too, right?
It's quality. But it's also, you know, they're
gotta
paying their people correctly. It's not a big corporate place that just pays their cashier $7 an hour.
They have to make their money, if not they won't meet their needs.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard all around, but
so
I just hate when I can't recognize.
So is that a myth then? When they say, "Oh, well, support your local businesses so they could stay afloat." Really, the problem is all these people who design like these architectures, like those are the people who are eliminating these mom and pop shops, not us.
They're buying them out because they're desperate.
Because
the mom and pop stores are very desperate.
All these big companies, they always aim the culpability with us, whether that be environmentalism or like, hey, well, you guys don't recycle, so that's why we're killing the planet. Like, no, it's because you're the laws. I mean, the laws that you're promoting are actually hurtful for the environment, and your regulations and the way that you dispose of your materials is hurting the environment. Not us that we don't recycle. I think the same thing with mom and pop shops disappearing. It's not us that we're like choosing. Well, maybe it's a factor, but it's not entirely because we're choosing to go to Walmart. It's because who is allowing Walmart to take over all these local grocery stores? Who is allowing the architecture to make these mom and pop shops disappear?
And it's all the money too, because
the mayors, the fucking I don't know, the people who are in power who allow this.
Well, the people,
local governments.
the people who their houses were very nice, the ones across the street from my uncle, but technically, I think that strip now is all commercial property now. So I don't know if that had to do with it, like you said. With the city changing the zoning laws, so maybe they couldn't live there anymore. I'm not sure. I don't know that for sure. But I do know that like the money, it makes a fucking difference. Like my uncle, he lives there on that street, but it's one of those commercial properties where it's his house and his business, because he has a tree business. So basically, every now and again, he gets offered like $1 million, like. Just like that, $1 million to sell that property because it's a large lot. He has a large lot.
Oh no! Hopefully he never accepts.
Well, he's considering it again because that money is. Yeah. I mean, how can you put $1 million in somebody's face and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that"?
But if they're willing to offer $1 million, they're willing to offer even more.
They are. If that's what
that to your.
If that's what they're, and he knows that because if they're just offering it right away, that's chump change to them.
Yeah.
It is, because with his property, I mean, who knows who could buy it? Honestly.
Yeah. No, hopefully he sticks through it.
Yeah, but then again, that boom is gonna pretty much, because it's pretty much almost done. Everything in the Heights is pretty much done. So I think, well, then I guess that makes his property more valuable. Because it's the last of it.
Yeah.
And the street that he's on, I'm telling you, he's the last one left. Him and his neighbor are the only ones left.
I'm gonna stick it through.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
Don't be like Candace Owens and sell out your soul for.
Well, he's gonna sell, but he needs a bigger lot though, because he does a lot of tree work. Dead trees. Okay, he's not cutting down.
Oh, okay.
But he does a lot of trees. We're talking about environmentalism and he does trees. No, but he's running out of space on his lot. Like he has a lot of big trucks and stuff. And actually, you know what's funny is that he actually all the stuff that he cuts down, the trees, all trees. What he does is he takes it to this dump where I think most dumps do this, where you take your only tree parts. You can't take them trash. Okay, no plastics, none of that. Only organic stuff. They mulch it, and then you can reuse that for mulch. And you put it on people's flower beds.
Oh.
Yeah, so they use their trash, and with that trash,
does he get paid for that? Is that a business too?
No, he has to pay to dump it. You still have to, because it's still technically dumping.
Wow, everything's a business, even disposing.
I know, even fucking
back to business.
But that's pretty cool, though. I mean, I like that they're not just throwing. I guess organic shit just kind of falls away anyways. But it's nice to reuse it into mulch. As long as there's no trash.
No, our time.
But anyways, hold on. It's Gilbert's Tree Service. You're in Houston. Okay.
Oh yeah! Shout out to your
My own.
Will appear somewhere here.
Yeah.
That was the first episode of 2022.
I think that was good.
Even though we lost the majority of our audience.
If we're not losing audiences, isn't really a good show.
It's whatever. At least I'm telling you, I said it in the last one. If there's only like 5 people watching, I'm
fine. Yeah, honestly, like I think we're not even getting like 50 views at this point.
As long as there's one person watching, then I mean, hey. We're here.
But it'd be better if we were like 1,000.
Blow us up, please. Yeah.
Please.
Well, not literally. Don't kill us.
Sponsorships.
We start being all desperate for these.
Please, I'll sell out. No.
I'll join Candace Owens movement.
Oh my god.
Would you? Candace Owens.
Oh my god.
She's like, hey, we need people to scroll.
No. We need more brown people.
Imagine, yeah.
Oh my god.
I would Trojan horse it. Well, wait. That sounds like a condom. No, like Trojan horses in the in the sense that
you're gonna infiltrate and then write about it and then do an expose.
Yeah. Like I would say, oh yeah, of course, yeah, I'll join.
Candace does coke. No.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, but no.
Who do you think? Wait, before we. Who do you think does coke?
Between the two of us?
In the political world, who do you think does coke? For sure, like, who are you certain does coke? Correct.
Nancy Pelosi.
You think Nancy does coke?
Nah.
Who am I trying to think? Who does coke? Hey, who is that guy?
Ted Cruz, yeah.
Not Ted Cruz.
Tucker Carlson. Oh my god. Well, he's not
Tucker Carlson. There you go. He's not a politician. He does coke.
Yeah.
That man does coke.
There's rumors he's an alcoholic.
He does something. Something is happening to him. Crazy. All right. Anyway, that was fun.
For sure.
We will see you next week.
22.
Yeah,
Episode 11?
Episode 11.
Is that like a magical number?
No.
Oh, I don't believe that. Nah, I don't believe that either.
What is that called? Numerology?
Numerology.
Anyways. Okay, so let's wrap this up. We hope you have a great day.
See you later. Bye.